Hello, my name is Lion, Homer Mentality Lost, depending on how you found me. I have two more endings for you
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll
Stanley
find it.
Parable.
Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought
So,
everyone had gone
supposedly-
missing? No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Supposedly this window is one of them. Okay. There we go. Whoa. Whoa.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
Thank you.
So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different?
No.
Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer?
Yes.
Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option?
Yes, that's what I was
Clearly,
going to do.
This whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable
Where
to
back
listen
can I
to,
go?
then perhaps you're not.
Oh, this is a
In
really
fact,
small room.
I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Is he really going to leave me here? Am I really all alone? Narrator? Can I go back in the window? I promise I won't come back here. Mr. Narrator? Mr. Narrator? Hello? Hello? Alright. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna hit yes this time. See if it does the exact same thing. I almost bet that it does.
All
But
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
there
a
we go.
memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
and we're back in here.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature
I
of
can't
video
skip over
game
this stuff.
structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long
Oh,
we
I
can
have a
maintain.
high tolerance level.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particular. particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day.
This is like
in a
spoken
meaningful
jazz.
way. But his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
This reminds me that there's an achievement to just play this game for an entire Tuesday.
Quite unbearable.
It's ridiculous. Is there another verse? Well, I'll keep listening to it until I figure out if it's looping or not. I think it is looping. It's not a bad melody though, to be honest. It's just really, really slow. My God, I'm starting to feel like I need to reset this thing. Oh no, it sounds like it's coming to completion. Damn it. Ah. Alright. Alright. I get it. Okay, I get it. Alright, so the other ending that we're going to do is actually to just do this.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end.
This reminds me of
he will be spoken to. He will
like
be told
how they
what to
typically
do.
write Survivors of the Apocalypse.
Now it's just a little
just
bit
waiting
closer.
forever for somebody to come and save
Now
them.
it's even closer. Here it comes.
And that's that. That's the two endings. Well, I'll do one more, because those were fairly short.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought.
There's
How
one more
amusing they'll
for
find
when
it.
you
Oh,
go
won't we all just laugh and laugh at the
right?
time I thought everyone had gone missing?
Yeah, right.
When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Do I know
Perhaps
that?
he wanted
I
to
don't think
stop
I
by
do.
the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
You know, you say this thing is beautiful, but it's just...
Yes,
and the
truly a
coolest
room
part
worth
is this little
admiring.
part here.
It had really been worth
I
the
like
detour
this,
after all.
but
just
after
to
that,
spend
it's
a few
just...
moments,
it's
but
nothing.
eager to get back to business,
nothing.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. You're gonna say that it's surprised I
Stanley
haven't
was so
been
bad
fired
at
sooner.
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Then I'm gonna walk on this thing.
Look, Stanley,
That looks like an ending down there,
we've
too,
gotten
doesn't
off
it?
on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision
It's a
by
really
yourself.
weird transition, actually.
I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Can I open this door?
This is it, Stanley.
So I've learned recently that I can
Your
actually open
chance
doors.
to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh, hello.
That's her, Stanley. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
Yes, I
That
did.
wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
I broke the
It's definitely
story.
here, clear as day.
Broke the
Stanley
story.
picks up the phone.
I
He's
broke
taken
the
to his
story.
apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves
That's
to
not
one
how that
another.
happens.
Music
You
comes
know
in,
that's not how that
fade to
happens.
white, roll credits.
It's the first thing I
Not
did.
picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner?
Noticed what?
You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the
severity
situation?
to the
Well, I won't
situation?
have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Oh, this is that
Please
ending.
observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house.
The author actually got
Which
some heat for that
choice
image
would
right
you
there.
make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back sack and crack."
A pack, sack, and crack? What is that? My goodness, I'm supposed to be having a back sack and
Excellent.
crack.
Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant
I was wondering where
contribution
this
to the
ending
world,
was.
just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah,
Oh,
welcome
Jesus
back.
Christ.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay. Do you want me to go all the way back?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful,
Oh, come
we
on.
can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home
But I
as soon
could've-
as possible before the narrative contradiction
Could've
gets
gone there.
any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Man. Is it really a choice if you're making me do it? You're gonna make me backtrack all the way. You couldn't just like move the story elements further, or just open that side hallway
Almost
that
there.
connects up.
You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So what happens if I go through the door on the right?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in
Oh,
the
Jesus.
other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Can I go back in there? Ooh. Okay, now it looks like I have no choice. Let's go through the left. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I...
I actually kind of feel
No,
bad
I
now.
have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Whoa. Whoa. Dude, I'm still here. What? Hello?
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You.
Hey.
Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you run it into the ground.
Look, I'm sorry. I was
Did you
just
think that would be
exploring.
funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley?
Not really.
He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious.
I know,
it would
I
have
already
been
saw
so
that one.
perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard.
Look, it's a beautiful...
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, I'll do it this time. And then we'll set Stanley free and...
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Whoa. Did you change the office?
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of
Whoa.
any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this,
Please speak
until he
clearly
saw
into
the
the
door
receiver.
with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley
really
had been
dirty
trained never
door.
to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
I can't... Night Shark 115?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Hold on a second. There's no way. Yeah. There's no voice option, so even if I say Night Shark 115, it's not going to pick it up.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Look. Right. Is there some kind of push-to-talk button? I'll say the code. There's no push-to-talk button. Look. You didn't input the ability to talk into the game. I can't. Night Shark 115.
Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do.
I want to open the door.
I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right.
No, I couldn't.
You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
What
When
the?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hello? Stanley?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door.
What?
Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me?
Oh, man.
Whatever choice you
There's
make
another
is just
credit
fine.
sequence.
You're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right
Oh,
thing
I
to
actually feel
do.
bad for the narrator now.
Take as much time as you need.
Mr. Narrator? I'll make the choice for you, Mr. Narrator. Sorry. Broke your game. Alright, so there's a couple more endings I want to go through, but that's going to be it for now. Thank you all for watching. Once again, my name is Lionholm, or Mentality Lost, depending on how you found me, and I'll see you guys in the next part.